So why don't we begin, Jack, just saying your name and your position?
I'm Jack Wilson, Director of the Kentucky Division of Water in the Department for Environmental Protection.
Okay. Now, this stream behind you is the North Fork of the Kentucky. What's the situation with the North Fork?
Well, the North Fork of the Kentucky is contaminated with fecal coliform bacteria contamination. This has been an issue for a number of years. The Kentucky Division of Water began an effort in 1991 actually to identify some of the problems in the river. We did some testing that year, and then in 1992 and each recreational season since, meaning from May till September, and determined that frankly the river's not fit to swim or wade in or basically have body contact with, and that is a standard that we use as measurement for the quality of the water in the river. And so we put an advisory on a considerable length of the North Fork all the way down to the forks of the Kentucky, where they come together to form the main stem of the river. Early in 92, we engaged in some enforcement actions against municipalities along the river. We're able to gain compliance, and then the following year put our emphasis on small package treatment plants with subdivisions and minute mark type of commercial areas and so forth. And we're fortunate then in the lower 80 miles to be able to remove that swimming advisory. But here in the upper part of the river, we knew going in that the easy part would be the treatment plants and to assure that they were in compliance, but the real problem was going to be with straight line pipes from individual homes and commercial establishments with raw sewage going directly into the river. This is a historic problem. Many of the communities and homes don't have adequate space for on-site or septic systems, or they're a part of an old coal community, camp community, which predated the municipal regional wastewater treatment. And so it was never provided for. And to go back now and to provide that is, of course, difficult, costly, and many of these communities are poor communities. So the problem is significant, one we knew was going to be significant, and one that requires a lot of community involvement and effort.
Now, how is it you can tell that a stream like this shouldn't be swum in? How do you...
Well, we have certain regulations where we sample the river on a routine basis and analyze those samples and determine that the bacterial level is above an acceptable standard for swimming.
Mm-hmm. Is this bacteria a dangerous bacteria? Or?
Well, yes, in terms of public health. At a minimum, it, if consumed, can cause gastrointestinal problems for people, and potentially other more serious diseases.
I'm just trying to get some sense of the seriousness of the problem. Some people have said like hepatitis could break out with these kinds of conditions. Is it
potentially hepatitis is an issue? Yes.
Are we, as we currently are here? Let me let this try to get by just a quick. I'll get this one more question. I know you've got to. Is that right, or how How bad
The
is it?
potential is there for that. That's correct. Anytime you have untreated sewage going out onto the ground or into a body of water with which people can have direct contact, you have the potential for serious health problems. And it may be hepatitis, it may be other stomach viruses, gastrointestinal problems, any disease that can be passed through the human intestine on out that you come in contact with can be repeated.
I just, let's see, how are we doing with the sound here? We okay? Something kicked on over there. I think it was one of those machines. Well, I think we've pretty much got, what else do we need, Amelia, for you?
I think
Here, okay. The most recent testing on the North Fork was accomplished about 3 weeks ago, and we have, for the 1996 recreational season, reimposed that swimming advisory, and we will be sampling the river throughout this summer. We will be sampling a number of the treatment plants, the municipal plants and the small package treatment plants, and we will be taking additional enforcement action on those facilities to try to assure that the wastewater treatment plants that are supposed to be treating waste where they exist are doing their job first. But we realize that there's a lot more yet to be done where there is no wastewater treatment as a service to the citizens. Does that get the
Okay,
background?
and let's go back, and let's see, you wanted something additional about the swimming
I
advisory,
think
right?
there might have been a camera move on
Yeah,
that.
let's try the swimming advisory. Just the notion that body contact is a potential problem with this water here.
As a part of that, could you list some of the possible diseases that could be in there?
Well, let me tell you, I don't want to give infection.
We ready? Okay. Yeah.
Certainly any kind of contact with the river, whether it's swimming or wading, as kids are likely to do, is not advisable at this time. Any sort of open cut or scratch can lead to infection.
Just as we get going, the car's all right. I'm sorry. It's just, the sound gets blasted out.
Any kind of an open wound, a cut or a scratch that a child may have exposed to the water, you run the risk of infection from bacteria that may be in the river. Or if you're swimming and swallow some of the water in your ear, or any of those kinds of things can cause health problems. And that's why the advisory is on.
And y'all tested 3 weeks ago, and the bacteria
Is elevated significantly. That's correct. So we will maintain the advisory at this point through the season, to the best of my knowledge, unless something miraculous happens sometime midsummer.
Great.
Then we would reconsider.
Okay, well, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. I know you're in Duluth, or on his way to Duluth or something for the next few days.
Well, he's had pretty good luck with the Kellogg Foundation.